Skull and Bones was announced at E3 June of 2017. Being developed by Ubisoft Singapore, the game started as a DLC for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag back in 2013, but quickly grew into its own standalone game. The first cinematic and gameplay trailers shown for Skull and Bones were incredibly well received and showcased fantastic naval combat with inspiring looking ships. The cinematic trailer even teased that sea monsters would also be in the game. Along with this trailer was a link to sign up for the beta access to the game. However, as of the time of this recording, no email has ever been sent to anyone who signed up for the beta back in 2017. No release was stated during the initial trailers, but it is believed it was originally slated to release in Q3 or Q4 of 2018. At this time, everyone was under the belief that this would be a game similar to that of World of Warships, a battle arena style game where you are confined to your vessel, and as you play more games and win more loot, you continue to upgrade your ships and purchase bigger and better vessels. However, in 2018, 2 new trailers for Skull and Bones were released, one cinematic and one gameplay. Gone from both these trailers was the tease of sea monsters, but now showcased your own pirate hideout, the ability to blend in with AI ships, fort battles, and far more customization for your ship.
Demi-cannons are slow loading, but deadly at short range.
The gameplay trailer also for the first time showed a release date briefly, before asking you to sign up for the beta, this release being 2019. However, that would not happen. At this time, behind the scenes at Ubisoft Singapore, Skull and Bones leadership had just been changed. Justin Farron, who was the creative director on Skull and Bones since January 2016, had been replaced with the new creative director, Elizabeth Pellin, in June of 2019. Justin then later quit from Ubisoft and went to Wargaming, the same company that makes World of Warships, and has been there as an executive producer ever since. With this change in leadership, Ubisoft also rebooted the entire game to now be made in Elizabeth's vision, meaning that both the gameplay and cinematic trailers shown to the public in 2017 and 2018 were no longer a proper look at the game we expect was coming. These were the last trailers ever shown for Skull and Bones, and now only time will tell of what Skull and Bones will look like. Along with the news of a new creative director and reboot of the game, it was also announced that Ubisoft had teamed up with Atlas Entertainment and had started working on a Skull and Bones TV show. The link in this tweet, however, shows a broken webpage, and outside of a few news articles at the time of this announcement, nothing else is known about it. As we all eagerly awaited news of what was to come to the game, the news we got was not great. On May 15th, 2019, 2 years after its initial reveal, Ubisoft announced that 4 AAA games were to be released by the end of March 2020. But Skull and Bones would not be one of them. Skull and Bones was delayed until sometime after March 2020. Alongside this announcement was a Twitter post on the official Skull and Bones page with an announcement video stating briefly what was going on and that we wouldn't be hearing anything for a while.
Hi guys, you may have heard that the Skull and Bones release date has been pushed back and we will not be at E3 2019. Rest assured that we are working as hard as ever to make sure the game is going to be as great as possible, and quality remains our #1 focus. Ubisoft remains fully devoted to this exciting journey to bringing you this brand new game, and we're confident Skull and Bones is going to be amazing. Our community remains super important to us, and we're really grateful for the support and passion that you've given us, and we will be back as soon as we can with exciting new updates. Thank you, and until the next update.
This would be the last thing the public was told for a very long time. In late 2019, in a call with investors, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot stated that Skull and Bones had been pushed back until sometime between April 2021 and March 2022. And while this is public information, it was not stated on any social media outlets that this delay had occurred. So for the vast majority of the people waiting for this game to release, or any news of any kind, we were stuck in the dark. Until finally, on September 9th, 2020, 3 years after its reveal, a Twitter post was made to the Skull and Bones official page, linking to a longer post made by the creative director Elizabeth Pellin.
First and foremost, thank you to our fans for showing tremendous patience. We know you've been waiting for news, so I'm thrilled to confirm this. Production on Skull and Bones has been in full swing with a new vision. Our teams at Ubisoft Singapore are fully committed to launching the game, as well as supporting it for many years to come. While our game won't be present at Ubisoft Forward on September 10th, we're currently working on plans to present Skull and Bones sometime in the future. It will be worth the wait. Many of you have been wondering why we've had to postpone our launch. The answer is that we simply needed more time. We dreamt something bigger for Skull and Bones, and these ambitions naturally came with bigger challenges. Critical questions needed to be addressed over the past several months, such as, how do we modernize the classic pirate fantasy? How do we ensure a more immersive and visceral experience? How do we create cool and memorable moments in-game? For most of these questions to be answered, it was clear that we needed more development time. As Skull and Bones evolved from its original idea to what it is now, it was also necessary to have some fresh eyes join the team. I was one of those people when I joined as Skull and Bones creative director a little over 2 years ago. I have been part of the game's core team that leads many of the talented developers at Ubisoft Singapore. Since then, many new talents have joined our global crew. From our teams in Ubisoft Berlin, Chengdu, Kiev, Paris, and the Philippines, it is truly a team effort. The dedication and passion of our developers continue to fuel our drive to make Skull and Bones something all of us can be proud of. Our confidence in each other's talents is what motivates us to push Skull and Bones towards the finish line and beyond. We're proud of the work we've done, and we hope you will be too when you see more of Skull and Bones at our comeback next year. Until then, on behalf of everyone in the Skull and Bones team around the world, keep safe, and we will see you again soon.
After reading this post, I responded, saying, "Holy hell, this is the best possible thing I have seen all year." To which Skull and Bones responded with, "Just wait and see what we have planned in 2021 then." It is now December 2021. The year is less than a month from being over, and this is still the last tweet on the official Skull and Bones Twitter page. If you do some digging around, you'll find more news about Skull and Bones development. In the earnings result for May 2021, it is stated that Skull and Bones once again has been pushed back until between April 2022 and March 2023. The most recent news I can find is a tweet from Ubisoft Singapore stating that in August of this year, Skull and Bones had officially entered internal alpha. This new version of the game, according to leaks and reports, suggests that it is now a live game model as opposed to its original boxed model, featuring a persistent world with quests, characters, and storylines that will drastically evolve and change over time. And, as of right now, that is all we have. Many people wonder why Ubisoft has not simply just cancelled this new IP. With reports of it costing over $100 million in production costs, with its multiple delays, reboots, and change in leadership, why do they persist with making this game? I believe that too much has gone into it for them to get nothing in return. They have to release this game to make some form of return on their investments. Cutting the game at this point would be such a colossal waste of money and time from the developers and the company. Keep in mind this game was initially started back in 2013 as an add-on to Black Flag, and now it's shaping up to be a huge new ongoing IP with a TV show in tow and a massive world to play in. I'm not sure what the media team had planned to show us this year, but I still retain hope that soon we will get some bigger official news towards its development, especially now that it has once again entered an internal alpha. Maybe one day soon, those of us that signed up for the beta access back in 2017, 4 years ago, will be getting an email asking us to come play. Until then, I do hope for the best for this game and the team working on it, and I do hope they add sea monsters. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, tell your friends. If you didn't, you tell me. Special thanks to Kendra Holly Grant for being the voice of Elizabeth Pellin, and to all my patrons for choosing to support me financially. Have a good one, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one. Skål!